Welcome to the Allison Knows podcast. Today, we're going to be diving deep into what makes successful people tick.
Oh, yeah.
The secret psychology of the 1%.
The 1%. It's a fascinating area. And, rather than focus on, those kind of elusive qualities or luck, we're going to be looking at the learnable skills and mindsets that
Yeah.
drive achievement based on insights from entrepreneur and author expert speaker's name.
Exactly. And you know what's so interesting about this is we're not talking about those inherent traits.
Right.
The ones you're either born with or not.
Right.
This is about strategies anyone can cultivate.
Yes.
So no more, envying the 1%.
Exactly.
We're going to learn from them.
Learn from them. Yeah, and a key concept from expert speaker's name is that highly successful people
Okay.
don't just stumble into their accomplishments.
Right.
They approach life differently, almost like they've cracked a code.
Okay. I'm ready to decode.
Let's decode it.
What sets the 1% apart in terms of their thinking?
So expert speaker's name identifies 6 key traits, and I think as we go through these, we'll find that they're interconnected.
Okay.
And they kind of build upon one another.
Yeah.
The first one he calls a particular perspective.
Intriguing. What does that even mean?
So it's about going against the grain, embracing discomfort, and even welcoming opposing opinions.
Interesting.
The 1% don't shy away from challenges or simply follow the crowd.
So it's more about, like smooth seas don't make skilled sailors.
Yes.
It's about seeing those obstacles as opportunities.
Precisely. It's in navigating those rough waters
Right.
that we learn and grow and ultimately reach new horizons.
Love that analogy.
It's a good one.
So the next trait is harnessing personal power.
Yes.
Tell me more about this one.
This is all about taking responsibility
Hi.
for your choices, actions, and their consequences.
Yeah.
The 1% don't waste energy blaming external factors.
Yeah, I think we've all fallen into that trap.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so much easier to blame circumstances than to really own our decisions.
It is. It is.
But I can see how this ties into personal growth.
Absolutely. Owning your choices is the first step toward positive change. You're empowered to shape your destiny instead of feeling like a victim.
So true. Okay, on to the third trait, mastery stacking.
Mastery stacking.
Does this have anything to do with multitasking?
It does not. It
Yeah.
does not. Think of it like building blocks.
Yeah, okay.
You achieve excellence in one area
Okay.
and then leverage that expertise to excel in other related fields.
Oh, I get it. So it's about building upon your strengths and creating a foundation for broader success.
Exactly.
Like if you're a fantastic problem solver,
Yes.
that skill can be applied to so many areas of life.
Exactly. The 1% recognize that skills and knowledge are transferable, leading to a kind of compounding effect of mastery.
Mhm.
They don't limit themselves to just one area of expertise.
That's fascinating.
Ah.
I'm already starting to see how these traits work together
Mm.
to, create a powerful framework for achievement. This is giving me so much to think about, and I bet our listeners feel the same way.
I'm sure they do. These insights are pretty compelling.
Before we dive into the other 3 traits, I want to remind our listeners to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who might find it valuable. You can also join the amazing Allison Knows community on YouTube for more insights and discussions. We love hearing from you.
Now let's get back to those traits. The fourth one is persevering persistence.
Okay.
And while it may seem self-explanatory, expert speaker's name highlights some important nuances here.
Well, we all know hard work is important, but what's the persevering part all about?
It's about never giving up, even when things get tough. The 1% see challenges as opportunities for growth, and they have the grit and resilience to keep going.
It's that never say die attitude.
It is.
You definitely see that in top performers. They don't let setbacks define them.
Exactly. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but having the mental strength to push through them and come out stronger on the other side, like a muscle that gets stronger with each workout.
I love that. The more you exercise your persistence, the more capable you become. Okay, what about the 5th trait? Positivity in the presence of problems. Does this mean ignoring reality or pretending everything's fine?
Not at all. It's about acknowledging the challenges, but choosing to view them as opportunities rather than insurmountable obstacles. You shift your perspective and focus on solutions.
So instead of getting bogged down in negativity, you ask, what can I learn from this?
Yes.
It's about taking control of your mindset, even in difficult situations.
That's the key. The 1% understand that their attitude directly influences their outcomes, and they approach problems with a solutions-oriented mindset. This is what fuels progress and breakthroughs.
Such a powerful reframe. Okay, the final trait is paying the price for success. What does this entail?
It's about recognizing the simple truth that significant rewards require significant effort. Success doesn't come easy. It demands dedication, sacrifice, and consistent work. There are no shortcuts.
So it's about embracing the journey, putting in the work, and understanding that setbacks are part of the process. No magic formulas here.
Precisely. The 1% don't shy away from the hard work. They embrace it knowing that the rewards will be proportional to their effort.
That resonates with me because you don't achieve greatness from the sidelines. You have to be in the game.
You do.
Okay, these 6 traits offer a compelling look into the secret psychology of the 1%. But how can our listeners apply these insights to their own lives?
That's a great question. Expert Speaker's Name challenges us to shift from envying the 1% to learning from them. It's not about feeling inadequate, but using their strategies as inspiration for our own growth.
So it's about empowerment, not resentment.
Right.
Recognizing that we can achieve great things by adopting a similar mindset.
Absolutely. The same principles that lead to their success can be applied by anyone, regardless of their current circumstances or aspirations. Success isn't random. There's a formula, and by understanding that formula, we can increase our chances of achieving our own goals.
This is so inspiring. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of these powerful ideas.
We've laid a great foundation, and I'm excited to delve deeper.
Me too. But first, a quick reminder to our amazing listeners, connect with us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share this episode with anyone who might find it valuable. We love building this community and learning from each other.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with more groundbreaking insights.
Welcome back. Now let's delve into a concept that Expert Speaker's Name finds particularly intriguing.
Okay.
Price's Law.
Ooh, Price's Law. That sounds kind of ominous. Should I be worried?
Not at all. Not at all. It's actually a fascinating mathematical principle
Okay.
that reveals a pattern in achievement.
Okay.
It states that the square root of a group consistently produces 50% of the output.
Okay, break that down for me. What does that actually look like in the real world?
So let's say you have a team of 100 salespeople.
Okay.
According to Price's Law, only 10 of them will bring in half the commissions.
Wow.
It highlights this natural imbalance in productivity, and it applies to all sorts of fields, not just sales.
That's quite a stark difference. It makes you think of the whole concept of fairness and success, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If outcomes aren't always evenly distributed, what does that mean for us?
That's a great point. Price's Law can seem a bit intimidating, but I think it's more about understanding the dynamics at play rather than getting discouraged.
All right.
On the one hand, it reminds us that extraordinary results often come from a concentrated effort.
Okay.
Those 10 salespeople likely possess a combination of skills, knowledge, and drive that set them apart.
So it's a motivator to push ourselves and strive for excellence to become one of those key contributors.
Exactly. It's about aiming for that level of mastery where you become indispensable, but it also challenges us to redefine our understanding of fairness.
Okay.
It suggests that even with equal effort, some individuals will naturally contribute more than others.
That's a good reality check.
Mm.
Not everyone gets a trophy, and that's okay. It's about recognizing that some people are just wired to excel in certain areas, and their contributions might be, disproportionately impactful.
Yeah, that's a healthy perspective, and I think it ties back to those 6 traits we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Those who embrace discomfort, harness their personal power, and persistently strive for mastery are more likely to find themselves among the top performers, regardless of any perceived imbalance.
This is really shifting my perspective on success. It's not just about working hard.
Right.
It's about working smart and strategically,
Absolutely.
focusing on those areas where we can truly make a difference.
Now, speaking of working strategically,
Yeah,
let's talk about confidence. It's something we all desire,
right.
but so many people struggle with it. What's the secret to cultivating genuine confidence?
Right, because it's one thing to want confidence, it's another thing to actually embody it. You can't just fake it till you make it, right?
Exactly. Expert Speaker's Name is very clear on this point.
Okay.
Confidence isn't something you magically have. It's built through competence.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of understanding and applying principles consistently.
Mm.
It's about recognizing your own proficiencies and honing them with passion.
So you have to know your stuff. It's about having the skills and knowledge to back up your actions.
Precisely. Think about Expert Speaker's Name's story about mastering the guitar.
Totally.
He invested heavily in his passion, even when others doubted him. That commitment to mastery ultimately led to incredible rewards, both personally and professionally.
That's a powerful example. It shows that you can't just hope for success. You have to equip yourself with the tools and expertise to make it happen.
Right.
And that in itself builds confidence.
It's a self-reinforcing cycle. The more competent you become, the more confident you feel, and the more likely you are to take on new challenges and achieve even greater things.
This is such a practical yet profound insight. It's not about some mystical quality.
Hmm.
It's about tangible action and consistent effort. You build confidence by becoming really good at what you do.
And a crucial element of building that confidence is keeping your word.
Ooh, I think this is where a lot of us struggle, myself included.
Yeah.
We make promises,
Yeah.
both to ourselves and others,
Right.
that we don't always keep.
Right.
How does this tie into confidence?
It's about integrity,
Yeah.
both internal and external. When you consistently break your promises, you erode self-trust. You're essentially telling yourself that you're not reliable.
It's like chipping away at your own foundation.
Yes,
If you can't trust yourself to follow through, how can you expect others to trust you?
precisely. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You doubt yourself, you fail to follow through, and the cycle continues.
Right.
But the good news is you can break free by making a conscious effort to keep your promises, starting with the ones you make to yourself.
So it's about those small wins.
Yes.
Those daily commitments that build up over time. Like actually going for that run you promised yourself you'd take.
Exactly. Start small, make a promise no matter how insignificant it may seem, and honor it. Each time you follow through, you strengthen that muscle of self-trust. It's like building a reputation of integrity first and foremost with yourself.
This is such a practical and actionable tip.
Mm.
It's not about some grand gesture. It's about those everyday choices that add up over time.
Right.
You build confidence one promise at a time.
Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about expert speaker's name's perspective on wealth.
Okay.
He offers a unique take that challenges some common misconceptions.
I'm intrigued. Wealth often gets a bad rap, especially in spiritual circles. What's his take on it?
He suggests that wealth in its purest form is inherently good.
Okay.
It's simply a resource, a tool that can be used for positive purposes.
So it's not about the money itself, but how it's used. Like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly. He argues that wealth, when viewed through a spiritual lens, can be a powerful force for good in the world. He even draws a connection between wealth and God's people in the book of Genesis, pointing out that gold, the ultimate symbol of wealth, is repeatedly linked to those who are blessed by God.
That's fascinating. It challenges the idea that wealth is somehow at odds with spirituality. Instead, it suggests that it can be a manifestation of blessings, a resource to be used for righteous purposes.
Right. It's about reframing our understanding of prosperity. It's not about hoarding resources. It's about using them to create value, make a positive impact, and contribute to the well-being of others.
This is such a refreshing perspective, especially in a world where wealth inequality is such a hot-button issue. It's not about demonizing those who have wealth. It's about recognizing its potential for good and encouraging its responsible use.
Precisely. It's a call to action for all of us, regardless of our financial status, to use whatever resources we have, be it time, talent, or money, to make a difference in the world. True wealth lies not just in what we accumulate, but in how we contribute to the well-being of others.
This is a powerful message that I think we can all benefit from hearing. It's about expanding our definition of wealth to include not just financial abundance,
Yes.
but also spiritual fulfillment, social impact, and the legacy we leave behind.
That's beautifully said. It's a reminder that we all have the potential to create wealth, not just for ourselves, but for our communities and the world at large.
These insights have given me so much to think about. Before we continue exploring this fascinating topic, I want to remind our awesome listeners that you can find Allison Knows on Blue Sky, YouTube, and TikTok. We love hearing your thoughts and connecting with you. We'll be right back with more incredible insights in the final part of our deep dive.
Welcome back. Let's shift gears now and explore a key element of expert speaker's name's philosophy,
Okay.
the importance of understanding and applying principles.
Ooh, okay. I'm all ears. What kind of principles are we talking about here? Is this like a secret code of conduct for the 1%?
Not exactly a secret code, but definitely a powerful framework for success. He's referring to those fundamental truths, those underlying laws that govern success in any area of life.
So it's less about specific tactics and more about these universal principles that apply across the board.
Yes.
Like, are we talking about the laws of physics here?
That's a great analogy. Think about gravity.
Okay.
It works, whether you believe in it or not.
Right.
Success principles operate in a similar way. They're like these invisible forces that shape outcomes.
The more we understand and align ourselves with these principles, the more we can leverage them to achieve our goals.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But if these principles are so universal,
Yeah.
how do we actually identify them? It's not like there's a textbook that spells them out for us.
That's where observation and study come in. Expert speaker's name encourages us to look for patterns in the lives of those who have achieved success, to become students of success, so to speak.
So it's about studying the greats, not just in our own fields, but in any area where people have achieved remarkable results,
Yes.
like reverse engineering success by looking at the outcomes and figuring out the process.
Precisely. By observing those who have achieved what we aspire to, we can begin to identify the common threads, those underlying principles that seem to consistently lead to positive outcomes. It's about recognizing that success leaves clues.
I love that success leaves clues. We just have to be observant enough to spot them.
We do.
So let's say we've identified some key principles through observation and study.
Yes.
What's the next step? Well, as they say, knowledge is power, but only if you use it.
Right.
It's not enough to simply understand these principles. We have to apply them consistently in our own lives.
Right. It's about bridging the gap between theory and practice. It's one thing to read about success principles.
Yeah.
It's another thing to actually embody them in our daily lives.
Exactly. It's about taking those principles and integrating them into our routines, our decision-making processes, and our overall approach to life. It's where the rubber meets the road.
And expert speaker's name emphasizes that confidence is built not just through understanding principles,
Yes.
but through competent practice.
Yes.
Can you unpack that a bit?
So he's highlighting the importance of not just knowing what to do, but also developing the skills and expertise to do it well.
Yeah.
It's about bridging the gap between knowledge and action.
So it's not enough to just talk the talk. You have to walk the walk. Like, you can read all the books in the world about cycling.
Right.
But until you get on that bike and start pedaling,
Yeah.
you'll never actually learn to ride.
That's a perfect example. Mastery in any field requires not just theoretical knowledge, but also practical experience. It's through consistent practice, through repetition, through a willingness to get in the game and put our skills to the test that we truly build unshakable confidence.
I'm starting to realize that confidence isn't some static quality.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
It is.
It's something we continuously build and refine through action and experience.
That's a great way to put it. Confidence is a journey, not a destination. It's about constantly pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones, embracing challenges, and developing our skills through consistent effort. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
Expert speaker's name also talks about discovering, developing, and deploying our proficiencies. Can you elaborate on this process?
Absolutely. He's essentially advocating for a strengths-based approach to success.
Yeah.
It starts with recognizing our natural talents and abilities, those areas where we excel effortlessly.
So it's about identifying those activities that light us up, that we naturally gravitate towards, and seem to do well without much effort. It's about recognizing our unique gifts and talents.
Exactly. Too often we get caught up focusing on our weaknesses, on those areas where we struggle. But Expert Speaker's name encourages us to shift our focus to our strengths, to those areas where we have the potential to truly shine. It's about playing to our strengths.
I love this. It's so empowering. It's about recognizing that we all have something unique to offer the world. And by focusing on developing and deploying our proficiencies, we can unlock our full potential and achieve a level of success that wouldn't be possible otherwise.
Couldn't agree more. Now, once we've identified those proficiencies, the next step is to passionately develop them. It's about honing those skills through deliberate practice, continuous learning, and a deep commitment to mastery.
So you're taking those natural talents and turning them into finely tuned instruments, into powerful tools for achieving our goals. We're investing the time and energy to become truly exceptional in those areas where we have the potential to excel.
Exactly. It's about embracing the journey of mastery, understanding that it requires dedication, discipline, and a willingness to put in the work. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves, not just for our own benefit, but for the benefit of the world.
This reminds me of the 10,000-hour rule.
Yes.
The idea that it takes significant dedicated practice to achieve mastery in any field.
That's a great connection. While the exact number of hours may vary, the underlying principle remains the same. Mastery requires consistent effort and a deep commitment to growth.
And finally, Expert Speaker's name talks about deploying our proficiencies passionately and profitably. What does this entail?
It's about taking those honed skills and using them to create value in the world, to make a positive impact, and to achieve our goals both personal and professional. It's about sharing our gifts with the world.
So it's about more than just personal gain.
Yes.
It's about aligning our passions, our skills, and our purpose to create a life of fulfillment and impact. It's about making a difference.
That's the heart of it. True success isn't just about what we achieve for ourselves. It's about how we use our achievements to make the world a better place. It's about leaving a positive legacy.
This has been such an incredible deep dive into the secret psychology of the 1%. I feel like I've gained so many valuable insights that I can start applying to my own life today.
Me too. And remember, success is not a matter of luck or circumstance. It's a result of cultivating the right mindset, developing the right skills, and taking consistent action.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Allison Knows podcast. And to our incredible listeners, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who might find it valuable. You can also join Allison Knows on YouTube and share your thoughts in the comments. Follow Allison on Blue Sky, YouTube, and TikTok. Remember, you have the power to create your own success story.